What's up, kings and queens, and welcome to another edition of Talk Back to Me Podcast. I'm your host, Exclusive, and next to me we got Jelly. What you got coming up for us?
So today we will be discussing the impeachment of the annoying orange, as well as the city of Houston. We just went through our own tropical storm, and a lot of people lost a lot of material things, and a few people lost their lives. But all in all, the city is looking beautiful once again. So, yeah.
Most definitely want to get educated on that. And next up, we got Ticket. I know he got some inspirational bombshells to drop. What you got coming up?
Oh man, like I always tell you, we ain't talking about nothing to the end of the show, but it is Ticket Talk, Ticket Thoughts. As always, do you, man, because I'm definitely do me.
Oh, do you? Because he go do him, most definitely. Well, we got an interesting topic coming up right now. It's going to get a little personal. Make sure y'all get ready for this one. Surviving abuse. I'm going to start off with Jelly. How do you survive it? What's the steps you can take?
So we would start with me, huh? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. As far as surviving abuse, I would say accept what has happened. Allow yourself to heal from it. Don't blame yourself, and forgive your abuser. And it's not for them. People say this all the time, like, oh, it's not for them, it's for you. No, it's really for you, for real. Because if you harbor that hatred and you harbor that pain, it does nothing but eat away at you. And you can never be the person who you're supposed to be. Don't let you become a victim of circumstance. Let that be another building block to your empire and your legacy and who you will be. Yeah. I guess I just feel like take your power back. That's the only way to survive it. Because if you don't, it's gonna tear you down. Like, it's gonna fuck you up in a major way. And a lot of people don't know how to cope with that. And a lot of people don't speak on what's going on with them, so they don't know how to heal. They don't know how to seek help and how to get guided in the right direction as far as acceptance and reassuring themselves like you're gonna be okay. So
I think what it is too, people, they tend to get misjudged and judged on certain facts dealing with abuse. I'm gonna go a little deep on my part of it. I had a family member. She was sexually assaulted as a child, and you're not classified as a whole because you were sexually assaulted. You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that to happen to you. So we most definitely need to educate our youth, educate others on exactly how we can deal with certain things without feeling like they have to be judged or prejudged just because what they went through. Tiggy, what you got on?
Like you said, man, like Jelly was saying, to acceptance and knowing, you know what I mean? Like knowing what you're going through. Some people feel like they've been doing it and going through it for so long that it's right. You know what I mean? And they have to go through it. Because a lot of people get in your mind and tell you that you have to go through that. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, oh, you don't do nothing. You don't work, so I'm going to beat you down every day. I'm going to talk down on you every day because you're not doing this or doing that. Oh, you gained weight, so you've done this and your hair ain't done. I mean, you got to know your own inner strength, your own inner beauty. And that go for women and men, because abuse don't just come toward women, it come toward men too.
True.
You got some women that are a little stronger than most people that you know. You know what I mean? And they'll abuse you in different ways with their words or with their thought processes and their actions as well. So you gotta know, you know what I'm saying, the differences between the two, and you gotta know when it's actually happening, because it's not always just physical, man. It's emotional, it's spiritual. You might go to church and have somebody telling you how to pray. You know what I mean? It could be spiritual abuse, it could be work abuse, it could be family abuse. You know what I mean? People and your family mess with you in the wrong way, but it happens. Abuse comes in a multitude of ways, but you gotta know when it's happening and when to get out and when to get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people tend to think that they deserve the abuse they get. And people do things like shaming you, like, oh, well, you earned it. Cause why you had that on? Like, what you wearing a skirt for?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you want to dress promiscuously and dress provocatively and think nobody is supposed to approach you. A man not supposed to slap your ass. Or you outside and you out with your friends and you out in public getting drunk. Of course he's not supposed to respect you. Of course he's supposed to talk to you crazy. You know, you don't deserve to be belittled by anyone by the choices you make as far as yourself goes. If it only affects you, then it doesn't matter what you do you. Because
like I say, do you? Because if you don't, I'm gonna do me. It's just like I said. At the end of the day, man, a lot of people, they know right from wrong, but they seem not to know right from wrong because of what's been pushed into their head. And, you know what I mean? Dealing with even kids, like I say, I always touch on that working at the Pelsion because I've seen so many different attitudes and feedbacks. Like, you'd have a kid that would act out on purpose that want to be touched because that's what they're used to, and not knowing that that's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, abuse comes in a multitude of ways, man. I'm sure everybody in here got a personal story and some type of abuse, whether it be sexual, mental, physical, whatever it may be. But you just got to know how to seize it and how to stop it and how to keep it from being what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? And that's why I always like I say, do you, because I'm gonna do me. Like, I just be damn, man, I ain't taking too much off of nobody. You know what I mean? I might let you get a little bit out, but after a while, that shit got to stop. You know what I mean?
But if that's all you've ever known, and this is a person who's supposed to love you,
True.
And somebody that you love, and people like to shame the victims all the time. Like, why didn't you get away? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you speak up? You know, why didn't you break free from that? You know how difficult it is to break free from someone you have a soul tie with, or to break free from somebody that you love. Like, this is your family. This is the only person you know.
Facts.
This is the only person you have. Like, you know, people tend to use what they do for you as leverage.
True.
Over your emotions. And it is so draining when you're dealing with someone.
Because a lot of people catch you at your weakest
negative.
point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times people catch you at your weakest
They'll
point.
catch you at your strongest too.
If they good enough to do
And
so.
break you down.
If they good enough to do so, and you
They
ain't
have
lying
to
about
learn
that.
you. Yeah, they have to learn you.
Yeah.
You
You literally.
But you got people that manipulate you just like that. You know what I mean? And they'll watch your every move, your every step, your thought process, know what you're good at, what you're not good at, and they'll pay attention and they'll catch you when they, you know what I'm saying, when they catch you. And they go hard at you. But you have to be strong enough mentally and physically to not allow it to happen. And I mean, I know a lot of situations like women, I say women are getting physically abused and don't want to get out because they're scared to get out. You know what I mean? Like, they scared to get out because, like, if I tell somebody, they got dudes that be telling women, like, I'll kill you if you tell somebody. Or if you tell me, I'll do something to your child, or I'll do something to your family member. But that's when you got to speak up, man. You go talk to cops, you go do whatever. It's hard to just say, to make it that easy, but it has to be something that has to be done, to, you know what I mean, a system in that kind of way. Yep. You know, but.
So have you ever been around someone that you love and literally watched them, like, click out, just switch on you?
Ooh.
Like, go from y'all having a cool conversation or talking about whatever, and the next thing you know, yeah, bitch, yeah, you a hoe, yeah, that's all you do, yeah, and it's like, what the fuck going to that? Like, what happened that fast? And in a defense, you're like, what I do? Yeah. Bro's like, oh yeah, you did this, that, and the third. But in the same token, you know, you can't lash out how you want to because things can escalate. They can go from being mental and verbal to physical. And once things go to that physical side, it's kind of no coming back from that. True. Because once they initiate that, I don't give a damn how many stars you get, how many apologies you get, things are going to get worse. And women are the most verbally abusive, is what people do not understand. Women are the most mentally abusive. We just are more vocal about it when men do it to us because men are shamed into not saying anything. Because they feel like, oh, I'm weak if I'm letting people know, like, this lady is running over me. Like, she punching me in the back of my head. Like, you know, she's spitting in my face. She calling me all kind of sorry, bitch ass, trifling hoe ass niggas. And I'm taking it.
Well, see, a lot of times, man, you got to look at it in two retrospects, too. Some people weren't taught what's right and what's wrong, and then some people seen their mom and daddy do the same shit and they think it's okay.
Generational.
You know what I mean? It's a generational curse. So like, if I seen my mama, you know how many black women, not just even black, white, Hispanic women that I know, Asian, whatever, that'll talk to their man crazy, fuck ass nigga ain't doing shit like that, but she steady taking care of him. You know what I mean? And
but that's the thing, she's taking care of him.
So she feel like she can't.
You're not my equal.
Or even in a situation, even in a situation when she doesn't, a man allows it because he, you know, a lot of men too look at it like, ain't hurt me. You ain't doing that. I mean, you just talking noise, but it's not right. You know what I mean? It's not right to belittle someone. It's not right to talk down to someone. It's not right to take things that you know people don't like and pin that against them. You know what I mean? Like, those are things that we have to start dealing with, especially with a man. Like, I'm stronger than you. There's no reason why I should be doing any of that to you. You know what I mean? Like, I might not be stronger than you mentally, but physically, there's no reason for me to hold you down, hit you, slap you, hurt you in that form.
Some men.
Some?
You know, just like, again, some women.
Yeah.
Man, it's some real toxic shit going on out here.
It sure is.
And the toxicity doesn't just end with the abuse. it continues to the abused. Like, now you are tainted for the next person. You're not gonna trust your next partner, or you're gonna be too dependent because you're gonna need them to do exactly what your ex did. The person you finally were able to get away from.
Because you fall back in the same trap.
Yep, you fall back into the
And
same trap.
it's scary though, man, because you look at it like, I've seen some girls that went to school with me, college with me, I mean, beautiful women. You know what I mean? Like, that you would never, ever in life be like, she taking that from him? You know what I mean? It'd be a peon ass type dude. You know what I mean? But it's like, some of those beautiful women are lost in the mind, or, you know what I mean, that weak in certain ways. And men know how to play. You got people that know how to, like, play on certain situations. You know what I mean? And we all have it in us. Sometimes
we all got a little.
You know what I mean? But you have people that really know how to play on certain situations and like really hinder and hurt other people, man. It's a shame and it's terrible. Like, I mean, I've seen situations up close and personal, like women that I know or men that I know that get like physically abused or mentally abused on the regular. And you look at it kind of like, I mean, I've been in some situations like that. You know what I mean? So you look at it like, damn, like what's wrong with you? And then you don't really see it till you get outside of it. Because a lot of people that's in it, they don't see it because they think it's normal. And then when they get outside of it, they kind of like, damn, that shit was fucked up. Like what I was going through, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you get something that's good. Like say if it's physical or mental and you with a mate, and then you get outside of something and it's totally different. It's like sometimes you don't even know how to accept it. You run from it. You're scared. Because you know, it's not what you're used to. It's crazy, man.
And you know what else too? I think past experience, I think what it is too as well is like you said, people are scared. But people are scared to stand on their damn own. Yeah. They so used to being piggybacked by this person because they're looking at the good that person do, that they're actually letting the bad overshadow everything else because they so used to, you know, maybe I can give and take. Maybe I can deal with being called a bitch one day. Maybe I can deal with being called a sorry ass nigga the next, or a sorry ass woman the next. And it has to be a balance.
People forgive a lot too, for too much. You know what I mean? Like, you forgive a whole lot. Remember when you was a kid? Like, your mama, daddy whoop your ass. You be mad for how long? You wasn't forgiving none of that shit, right? Like, you be mad. And you be like mad, but I mean, it's not like that in a lot of situations now. A nigga can beat you up, a woman can talk down on you and come in and cook dinner and y'all make love, y'all back to normal. Or you can whoop her ass and, you know what I mean, you come buy some red bottles and lay them on the bed and she take them. I really don't want these girls, but they is nice. And then 2 days later, y'all back to normal. But it's not normal. Because you done it once, you'll do it again. You know what I mean? You can get away from it. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do it over and over again. What you think?
So, I feel like anything with abuse is like chipping away at, say, a rock. You know how it wears down over time and it's breaking down, and eventually it's going to become a boulder. Eventually it's going to become a pebble, and then it's going to be sand. You know, like, you're going to be fragile, and they don't understand that respect goes a long way. Somebody can have so much respect for you, but the minute you allow that disrespect to get a pass, or it's forgiven,
It's gonna continue.
It's gonna get worse. Like, it's not only with the physical abuse, with the mental as well. Because it'll be a point where somebody will never call you out your name, and they know that's a no-no for you in every aspect. You ever call me out my name, it's a dead issue, you know? And you let it slide one time, it's all, fuck, I fucked up, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, I should never let that come out my mouth. And then it just becomes easier and easier to call you bitches. It becomes easier to call you hoes. And, oh, you trifling, and yeah, you ain't nothing but a slut and whatever. You know, that shit's gonna get worse.
Yeah, I got a question though. Do you think that...
I don't give a damn now. Like,
yeah, because you didn't accept
exactly.
it.
Do you think that certain relationships rub that energy off on each other though? Because I know in certain situations, people that have never been abusive in life, mentally or physically, with nobody, and then they can get with a certain person, and the person is fucked up, and then you start acting like they acting. You ever heard the phrase like you feed them long enough, they'll start looking like you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's energy transfer.
Yeah, like we were talking about sex before. You know what I mean? And like you can fuck somebody or have sex with them, make love to them, and receive their energy. It could be the same thing like a relationship. You can get with somebody and you're not a mean person. You're not a disrespectful person. You're not a person that fights or fusses or cusses like that. Yeah. But it turns into that because it almost becomes like a battlefield. Like, oh, I'm a bitch. No, you a bitch. Oh, I'm a no, you a hoe. You know what I mean? Like, your mama, your mama. Like, it turns into that situation. And that's scary because, I mean, like, I preach to my niece a lot. beautiful young lady. Like I say, dating a little young college athlete. They both doing good. But I tell her like what to accept and what not to accept. The same to my daughters, because like you said, what you'll accept today, you'll love tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you don't have to accept that. It's okay to walk away from something, like you said, standing on your own. It's okay. What's wrong with walking away and standing on your own? You don't need nobody.
They don't want to
It's
do
difficult. I mean, it's a task. Like,
I think people just don't want to do it
I don't
because
You think people need people?
that's what it goes back to.
I can't say that you don't want to do it. I will say
So-
it is a task. Like, you literally have to force yourself to get away from the person you love the most because they're toxic.
But
You gotta like literally take your time and say, you know what, I cannot do this anymore. If I stay with this, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. This is gonna be the death of me. You have to get to that point to where you're finally like, okay, I'm letting go. I'm letting go. I'm hands off. Like, I have to get away from it, or it's a down.
Do you think that's more for like? I mean, and I'm asking that. Do you think it's harder for a woman to get away than a man, or is it about you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
Why is
so-
that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanna
Because
know this.
women are more emotional.
Okay.
Okay.
Women are more
I agree.
emotional than men. So, I mean, yeah, a man, he can love you and he can genuinely be in love with you. And that's why you have these men who click out and kill their whole families. But you also have these women who will never be the same after dealing with a certain type of man.
No matter what.
I used to be passive in my relationships. Like, oh, okay, you know, whatever, cool. You finna go, shit, you know, whatever. Then I got cheated on. And it was like, you finna go, where you going?
What time you coming back?
Yep.
Who you
We
going
going
with?
with?
Who gonna be over there?
Your phone ring at 2 o'clock in the morning. At first I used to be like, shit, whatever. You know, roll over, it is what it is. I found out you was cheating on me. Your phone ring at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who calling you? Now you got me being insecure. You know, I'm showing insecure traits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm no longer that passive woman I was, and I'm no longer more accepting and trusting. I'm skeptical of everything you do. And that's because I forgave you, and I allowed you to come back into my life, but to a certain degree. That trust we once had, I no longer have that for you.
But it goes back to, like Ticket was saying, we forgive so easily. We talked about it in the first couple of episodes that we did. We have to learn to know our worth. And until we actually know our worth, how the hell do we expect somebody else to know it?
Yeah.
And that's probably the most powerful gem that you can live by. If another person does not understand your worth and what you can bring to the table, I'm not just talking about anything physical, I'm talking about spiritual, financially, whatever the case may be. How can you expect them to understand it? So that's what we have to do better. That's what we have to try to get to the masses to realize that being in a corrupt situation does not mean you are corrupt. That just means you're in a bad situation. That just means you need to find a way to get out. So,
Well, I mean, the king is a king and the queen is a queen, right? But they have to act as such.
yeah.
Meaning, I can't be in a relationship and calling myself a king and I'm yada 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 yada, but I'm treating you like shit, or I'm acting as shit. And the same with a queen. You can't come in and tell me you my queen, but you don't do nothing that a queen does. You know what I mean? You don't act as a queen. So therefore, like I know we say we respect everybody. You know what I mean? That's from the rip. Like,
True.
I get that from Kevin Gates. He said, man, I don't want disrespect from you because I'm going to give you respect before we even start the situation.
Yep.
And I feel the same exact way. Like, y'all know me. I'm going to walk in, shake your hand, talk, laugh, joke. I'm not going to ever be disrespectful with you. Even when you're disrespectful with me, I'm going to try to move from that situation until it forces even more. So it's the same within relationships, within friendships, within marriage, love, whatever it may be. Yeah, you got to know your own worth. But at the same time, if we're acting as king and queens, you got to present yourself as one too. Then at the same time, you can't, like you say, you just can't allow anybody to do you any kind of way. You know what I mean? You can't. I do that at work. My job even know. You know what I mean? If we go somewhere, we having a meeting, he ain't taking that because you're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You know what I mean? You're not going to treat me any kind of way. That's not going to happen. So that's how you should take the approach every day in life. Like I keep saying, do you. You know what I mean? You should take that approach every day in life. You shouldn't let nobody, you know what you look at in the mirror. I've looked at a lot of women and say, I'm ugly. He told me I'm ugly. And you look at yourself every day in the mirror and you're beautiful. Don't let nobody tear down you when you know who you are. You know what I mean? That's why, again, I preach to my daughters now. Every day, you're beautiful. You're smart, you're intelligent. You don't need no man to tell you that. If it comes along, great. But at the end of the day, you don't need nobody to tell you that. You know that yourself. Know your worth. Like you said, for yourself first. Figure yourself out first. And a lot of people, like you said too, Jelly, a lot of people get into a relationship or into a situation and they ain't straight. So when you're not straight, how you gonna make somebody else even half of straight? You know what I mean? Like
she said on relationship versus situationship, how do you know love when you don't show love? Man, that's what you said, Jelly.
right over there.
Copyright.
Yeah.
What's on the dome over there?
I just feel like people really just be fucked up out here. And they're not taking the proper steps to heal.
Yeah.
Like, people are afraid to talk to people about what's going on with them, and it burdens them. And you torturing yourself. Like, for the remainder of your life, you're torturing yourself.
They scared
And
to
you
go
don't
to
know,
counseling.
yeah, and you don't know what it is that you can't get away from. You know you didn't like this about this person. You know you hated this about this person, but you cannot seem to, like, get away from that trait. Every man you look for, okay, I'll use myself as an example. I was single about, 3 years? And I just had a conversation this morning, and I'm like, I'm terrified. With my ex, I was like, I'm terrified. Like, I'm so scared of dating. Because when I did start liking somebody, and I started dealing with somebody on a interpersonal level, same shit happened to happen with you. Like, so now, I'm just hands off. Like, I will find something that I don't like about everybody.
On purpose.
On purpose. I'm not doing it intentionally,
But
but I'm doing it.
It's been
I find something that turns me off. Like, we can be full on talking, like having full blown conversations on the regular,
Fear
and I
of
just
relationship.
disappear.
Fear of being hurt again. Better yet, I don't want to say fear of the relationship because you want it, but it's fear of being hurt again.
I would disappear.
Yeah, I mean, and it, like, man, like we said, we always get personal when we talk about it. Like, we're in a better space now than where we used to be. But when it comes down to it, there's certain things I always use. That's just like if you walk by a hole and you get bit by a snake. Every time you walk by the hole, you're gonna look down. You're gonna walk a different way. You know what I mean? That's the same within this situation. Like, first off, you gotta give people the time to heal. You know what I mean? And you have to allow them the time to heal. You can't rush anybody's healing process. You know what I mean? Whether that be man or woman. I can't come in as a man and say, oh, you need to be better right now. I can't do that. And a woman can't come in and say, oh, you freaking holding grudges. You mad? You know, hey, man, just because I'm the man, I can be hurt just like you hurt. You know what I mean? But it's all around, man. It still goes back to respect, too. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to respect other people, man. You're supposed to treat people with the utmost. And if we learn how to do that as people, a lot of situations wouldn't be as fucked up as they are anyway. And it's scary out here, man. You ain't lying, it's bad, because in the times we live in now, most people just want to fuck, get a nut.
Shh, call it a day.
If your friend present herself, he gonna fucking get a nut. If his homeboy present himself, you probably gonna fucking get a nut. It's just a fucked up day and time, man. And nobody holds nobody accountable. Yeah. Nobody, like, I remember my mama telling me stuff like, oh, your daddy did stuff? Oh, he felt it for a while. I could hear that. Mm-hmm. But now, you buy a woman some shoes, take out the Del Frisco's. You know what I'm saying? Steak 48. You good next week. You know what I mean? The same with a woman. She mess over you. She come buy you some J's, the new ones that drop. She'll pay your cell phone bill, put some rims on your car or something, you Gucci. You know what I mean? But it ain't
everything y'all do all that. Put that thing on.
Put the thing on her.
In a different way. In a different way. Oh,
and they're gonna be like, man, baby, I love you. I love you too.
That's a different.
It's like soul out you.
That's a different type of abuse, ladies and gentlemen.
What she do? She call her home, girl. Bitch, I told you didn't take nothing but the spin. It's over with. Nah, man, it's just we gotta, man. It's not. I always say blacks. I know a lot of people always say don't just touch them, but we black. You know what I mean? That's just me. We gotta do better, man. Yeah. Like, especially people with kids, man. I've seen people with kids, like literally, and I can speak on it because I've had issues before where, you know, you and your mate might be going back and forth with a kid in the room. It ain't acceptable.
No, it's
you know what I mean? Like, I've seen people fighting with kids in the retrospect in the area. You gotta challenge yourself to say, man, I'm better than this and you better than that. Yeah. You know what I mean? If we got an issue, learn how to communicate. And I'm still speaking on that because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm still learning daily. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing wrong with counseling, man. It don't make you crazy. What make you crazy is not doing it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta learn how to communicate. You gotta learn how to challenge yourself to do other things. Don't do what you was taught and what you seen coming up.
So people don't understand that, like, with these veterans, like these people who put in the military, right? Mm-hmm. They go overseas, they fight, they see children die, they see their comrades die, they're killing people, you know, and then they come home. If you don't go through the proper channels, you end up with PTSD.
Fucked up.
Yep, you end up with PTSD. And that's why you see all these dang on veterans on the streets who you think, oh, they just mental. No, they're not mental for no reason. They didn't get the help they needed, or wasn't available to them, which they have the resources. But if you don't know how to get those resources, you don't get them. Resources like that are not readily available in our communities.
And it's
problem.
crazy. It's scary, man. Like, my dad, a Vietnam vet, E7 sergeant, 100% disability. You do what you gotta do. Very intelligent, do whatever. But I got cousins in Brookshire, Katy, Sealy areas that were like specialists in the military. Like, can plant a bomb everywhere and you can walk up on it and don't know your whole life gone. But then come back to here now and don't know shit from sugar because they mind and went so far.
Yeah.
And you try to give them help, but a lot of them don't want it. Some don't want it. You know what I mean? But it's like, I was driving. Me and my old man were coming from Dallas one day. We driving. And I'm just, you speed on the freeway. But when you get in the city, everything kind of slow down a little bit. And I'm like, man, why the fuck is these people going so slow? He's like, hey, man, you got to remember, you just changed a whole dynamic. I said, what you talking about? He said, you went from a freeway where it's 75, 80 to a city where it's 60. Slow your ass down. And then he told me, he said, that's like, we got to talk about the military. He said, that's like you said, it's a dynamic. I come from killing or watching killing, then to where I come here, and a regular argument that me and you having over there, he would have killed the man behind. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a different,
life would have ended.
And that's abuse too. Whether people look at it or not, like, overseas, like, I'm like Muhammad Ali, I wouldn't have went and fought no war. Them gooks ain't done nothing to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but that's abuse too. We over there abusing ourselves and abusing others, fighting for a country that damn near don't give a hell about us anyway.
Damn near.
Don't.
Yeah, okay.
It's just, you gotta look at it for what it is. My bad. Don't. You know what I mean? But
now I was just about to ask that. Do we self-diagnose ourselves when we
no.
So,
don't nobody.
Do we?
This is the problem. Oh my gosh, I see this so fucking much. Stop over-medicating your children. And stop over-medicating these people because you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to talk to them and get to the root of the issue. All you're doing is throwing a Band-Aid on top of a cut. Like, and I'm not talking about a scratch. Say a motherfucker got shot and you just gonna put a Band-Aid on top of it. Eventually, I'm gonna bleed out. Eventually, I'm gonna go into shock. Eventually, I'm gonna die. So you're letting this situation get worse and worse and worse. My body's becoming septic. I'm rejecting the medicine that you're giving me. And you know why I'm rejecting this? Because I'm still not satisfied. I still haven't gotten to the root of why am I like this? Why am I lashing out like this? Why am I spazzing? And people think, okay, well, fuck it. I'm going to take me this antidepressant and I'm going to be okay. Do you realize that for every commercial on TV, one may cause such and such and such and such at the end of the commercial, like really fast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're giving you a disclaimer because I'm going to give you this and it's going to fix this.
But if it fucked you up, I told you.
It's going to cause a million other fucking issues.
I told you.
And you're going to have to come back and see me and I'm going to give you something for that too. But wait, these medicines might clash. And now you got to go to the hospital because you can't take both of them.
And that's medication abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's abuse in a multitude of ways. Like, everybody, I feel like, I'm just being honest, I feel like everybody has an issue, right? I don't care who you are. Everybody got something going on in their life. Everybody got some type of issue, but they don't get help for it, like you say. And because a lot of people don't know how to channel their energy or channel their anger in different ways, and that's why you go get the help with assistance, right? You know what I mean? You have to go get that help and assistance to figure out how to do that. Because nobody taught you to say, hey, when you get mad, you good at drawing, go draw. Or if you hoop or play basketball, anything that you might be able to do to get outside of yourself and get away from that anger for that minute, or whatever it is that you have going on with you, you got to find different mechanisms to try to learn how to do something different. You know what I'm saying? What you think, Bob?
That makes total sense. No, you're making sense. But this is what I want to know, since we got a woman right here next to us. Why the hell, the first thing that come out of y'all mouth when y'all are upset or we did something is, you ain't shit, nigga?
Cause you ain't.
Like,
for that moment, or but then when you mad, I don't really mean you ain't shit.
It don't matter what it is. Just you ain't shit.
All right,
so you did your neck like this. You must mean it. You mean it, yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm really just expressing everything that I've been having bottled up, and it's just too much to go into detail about all the ways you're not shit. So I just sum it up to, nigga, you really ain't shit. Like, nigga, you ain't shit. Get on my fucking nerves. Like, for real.
But you don't think that's harsh?
Oh, I can't stand your black ass. Like,
But I mean, I think it's trigger words. Like some people can take bitch hoe. Like my trigger words.
Yeah, I can take the.
My trigger words are dumb, stupid, dodo. Like
mine ain't shit.
Slut, hoe.
That's the one.
That's why I asked.
I want to know.
My trigger words are dumb, stupid, and dodo. You can call me, man. You can probably say bitch, hoe.
Yeah, I can
like,
take that. Yeah.
But the moment, because I feel like when you call me dumb, like you like challenging my integrity, like you know what I'm saying, or like my intelligence, period, or like, and you know what you're doing, so you do it, and that's why I say your woman is probably. You can go hoop with your niggas. Your niggas can talk all kind of shit. And you be like, man, shut your stupid ass up. You going about your way. Your woman know how to get right here under that skin. I don't know what it is. Your woman know how to get under that skin. Yeah. And you allow it. Like, but we know how to get out of theirs too. Because as soon as you know, I'm ignorant. Like dumb, stupid, dodo. I be like, shit, nappy head. That's why you ain't got no size right here. You know what I mean? Something stupid.
Oh, no.
But I'm just saying, I'm using an example. No, it is an example. I can't say that about mine. She got plenty. But I'm saying you gotta know how to get
ticket. That's type of shit that's gonna get you cut and get slick.
But that's why we gotta learn how to communicate,
that's
right?
Right there.
What's your trigger word?
Speak on my edges. You know I got alopecia.
What's your trigger word?
I just told you.
No, what's the trigger?
I just told you.
Which one is it?
Bitch, hoe, slut, trifling. Trifling is my number one. Like
it's bigger than bitch.
Bitch, how dare you?
Because trifling just says everything.
Trifling is
like you ain't shit. Yeah. Like you said,
I know I'm not a hoe.
That's
like,
a whole
I know I'm not a
verb.
hoe. Like nigga, I know I ain't fucking no niggas. Like I don't give a damn. You call me a bitch, it's like okay, yeah, I'll be acting like a bitch sometimes, but you can suck my dick really. And you call me trifling? Who? Bitch, your mama trifling for not swallowing you. Yeah.
But that's kind of raw.
Trifling.
That's so.
Just say he trifling back.
Surviving.
When you start tapping into the families and shit, it get worse. Just say,
fuck your mama.
Well, damn.
And you personally attacking me? Fuck your mama. Yeah. I mean,
we gotta get better as people.
I'm not saying.
Listen, we gotta get better as people. Man.
I'm not saying it's right because I know I'd be dead.
We gotta get better as people. I'm telling you, Paul, we gotta get better.
Bro,
Reason being,
but
that's where it goes.
I don't care. In that moment, I do not care because you are hurting me. And the thing about it is, that's the only way I know how to defend myself is to hurt you.
How about walk away?
Yeah, and I walk away. I walk away and you walk behind me. And you blowing up on me, and you texting me and doing all this extra shit.
Block
yep, no, I ain't even doing the motherfucking thing. Fuck you, go suck your mother. Okay?
Somebody gotta be able to show restraint. Yep. If we don't, why do you think people be getting killed out here? Women be getting shot, men be getting stabbed.
But when I ignore you, it's even worse.
Somebody gotta be.
Oh, you disrespectful because you ignoring me and you see me trying to talk to you. I don't give a fuck.
You gotta know how to slide slick lines, and you gotta know how to say something like, "You're hurting me right now, and I don't want to talk." And at the end of the day, I don't feel like this is cool, and we're hurting each other. I'm gonna block you. But then when you do, a person know you're not responding. They have to start thinking to themselves. Like a person ain't gonna never tell you, "Hey, I'm thinking." Yeah. But the more and more, like my mom used to tell me all the time, a fool can't argue by themselves.
Yeah, they can.
Shit.
No, they can't.
No, they can't. They can't. Like my mama would tell me, like, your daddy can get up right now and be fussing. I pray for him for a minute and walk off. And when I come back, he didn't talk so much to himself. Now it's over with.
I showed you my message thread the last time.
Yeah,
how I don't respond to people. And the messages keep coming.
They'll stop. Even if it take a day or two, they'll stop.
He said a day.
And even if it take, some people are more stubborn than others. Even if it take a day or two, eventually he gonna be like, he might say, "Man, fuck this bitch," but he gonna eventually stop.
I block you, call private. So at this point, how the fuck am I gonna
just keep stopping?
Turn the phone off.
Turn the phone off. You
told. Fucking phone off. Look at the baby.
Have restraint. Listen, have restraint. Look at it and say, "I know this who called. I'm just not gonna answer." Because sooner or later it's gonna be, "Damn, dog. I see you don't want to talk to me. Did I really say something that bad?"
This is what I do.
Oh, I need you.
Hello. No, as soon as I'm gonna answer the phone, so I'm gonna say hello. Oh, bitch, and
wait.
You gonna call back? We're gonna try this again. Hello.
Wait. He say, what you say or what?
I need you.
I swear, no. I'm like so many. I need you.
I know
it's so many. And you fucking petty. You fucking petty.
I know the man. This is talk back to me.
You fucking petty.
But guess what?
We have fun here, man. But I mean, we serious.
We're gonna wrap this one up, man. Make sure y'all check it out. Surviving Abuse. We'll be right back with a word from Jelly. Here's to the streets. Only on TalkBack2Me Podcast. TalkBack2Me Podcast, powered by TheCore94. Hey, make sure y'all check out Fade in Full Barbershop over there on Kirkendall. He on the north side. He most definitely will get you right. Most definitely.
He pushed your edges back.
But I need you. And with that being said, we most definitely need to see what Jelly got to say coming up on Ears to the Streets. What you got for us?
First of all, hello, Houston. Doesn't it feel good to have our city back?
Great.
You know?
It does.
We get to cruise these streets with no water because the things got flooded out. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who don't know, man, look, go get you some insurance. Full coverage, please. Gap, please. Flood insurance, please. Because you can lose your homes, you can lose your vehicles, you can lose your lives. Go get you some life insurance, okay?
A lot of people don't have it.
Turn around, don't drown. I don't know if y'all be doing this like for real, like turn around, don't fucking drown. I need to listen my goddamn self, but yeah, turn around, don't drown. So, boom. After that, let's talk about the annoying orange on his way to being impeached. Yay! 3 years fucking later, shit.
Oh, that's
this
for
shit
real?
should have happened 3 days in. What you talking about?
Yeah.
You finna get impeached.
He about to get impeached.
First of all, how do you not know that he's on the verge of getting impeached?
A lot of people don't watch the news though.
Yeah.
So Nancy Pelosi,
You don't
she's
affect
a
my life.
Straight.
Democrat from, I believe, California, and she started the impeachment process, the formal impeachment process for him. And he feels like he's being bullied. He's like, oh, no president should ever be treated like this, and this is a witch hunt.
First off, you ain't no fucking president. Let's get that clear. You're not a president, guy. Let's
Little
get that
4-5?
right.
What you
Man.
talking about? Like, yeah, but he's like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm being mistreated, and they're bullying me, and this is a witch hunt, and blah, blah. First of all, nigga, you the witch. It ain't no witch hunt. We already know it's you. This is not the Salem witch trials, brother. You have already been proven to be corrupt. Like, you're racist. How are you a bigot? You're a misogynist. You're racist. You're sexist. Like, how the fuck are you the president? But this is America, right?
Because a lot of people took it as a joke.
Oh, okay. A lot of people was like, oh, that nigga ain't gonna win. Then boom. Oh shit, he actually
It
in
really
the running.
happened.
Like, he actually in the running. Oh fuck, he
He
actually
winning.
won. Like, oh man, yeah. Now he want to put up fucking walls, and he wanted, oh yeah, cause Obama didn't do this, and Clinton ain't this, and she ain't that. Why are you so focused about the next man? Why are you worried about the next man? I'm trying to bring jobs back to America. There are jobs in America. That's what you fail to realize. Oh, well, all the spics are taking them. The spics ain't taking the fucking jobs, dumbass. They taking the jobs that don't nobody want to do. Stupid. That's what people fail to realize. People are not coming in and taking jobs from you. They're taking the jobs that are available to them.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're hardworking, they're diligent, and they're gonna get that shit done in a timely manner. Versus you want to drag your feet. You want to say, oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't finna be no plumber. Oh, I ain't finna do this. And I ain't cleaning no toilets. And I ain't cooking no food. Yeah, until you see somebody else doing it. Why I can't get the job? Because you didn't want it when it was first offered to you. But yeah, you know, Trump gotta go. Homeboy's a clown. He needs a red nose to go with that orange hair. And yeah, you know.
So we'll be hearing from Trump real soon. He'll be like, talk back to me
Fuck
podcast.
Donald
Fuck
Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Donald Trump. You heard what YG said.
I'll be passing that pink slip to you, but no, for real. We'll be taking care of that, but no, for real. Trump do gotta go.
All right, guys, this is my signing out show. I'm getting fired.
No, you good. Trump gotta go though. So let me ask you something. How can you? What can people do better? I mean, besides voting, because it's more than just voting. What can people do better?
No. It ain't more than just voting. Nigga, vote. You know?
Let's just say nigga vote. That's gonna be on somebody's t-shirt
Like,
next week. Nigga vote.
Literally, like your
Real
city
talk,
council,
watch.
your city council elections, like your city council elections. These things matter because you are picking your state representatives overall. Like, you start voting for your city, then you vote for your state, and you're gonna pick your representative. Your representative has to vote in favor of what the state is, or they get fined for it. So with that being said, put the right people in office. And it's that fucking simple.
With that being said, hashtag nigga vote.
Nigga vote. I said what I said. I said, period.
Well, they got. I mean, most people gotta they gotta enlighten themselves on certain situations. Most people don't vote because they don't know.
Most people are ignorant.
They don't want to. Or my vote don't make a difference. Yeah, it does. You know what I mean? But that's why we need more people like you out in the communities helping others and telling them. They'll follow you.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to an extent.
You don't think so?
Nah, because my delivery may be a bit
And if you walk in the middle of South Park, Highland Park, 3rd Ward, Yellowstone, South Acres, 5th Ward, anywhere right now,
like, who this bitch think
SWAT,
she is?
and you come out and you're talking like you do, and you're encouraging people to vote, they'll follow you.
They don't say, who this bitch think she is?
Now,
They'll
if you give
follow
them a
us.
free
You're
You're
nigga
supposed
vote
to be
shirt.
Condoleezza Rice or something. Who the fuck is you? Like, yeah, nah, you know.
Now you might get a whole lot of I want
Not
yous,
that cool.
but you might get a lot of I want yous, but you gotta go out and encourage.
Why
people.
y'all
For
want to
everybody that's watching,
Why y'all
her DMs be lighting up.
Be popping. All I'm saying, I want you. I need you. I got to have you.
And I will show you the way.
MJG. Listen, but yeah, I mean but like I say, they'll follow you, man. They'll follow a pretty face before they follow us.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's just, I hate to say it like that, but they will. They'll follow a pretty face before they follow us. I mean, you are right, so they'll follow you. I'm joking. But I'm just, but at the end of the day, hashtag nigga vote. Everybody needs to vote, man. It matters. But we don't want to have another fucked up situation like we've been having.
Y'all like being called nigga until it's somebody else calling you nigga. So like I said, nigga vote.
There's a difference. There's nigga and there's nigger.
You still should not want to be called a nigga. But
there's a difference.
You know, that is our slang. That is our demographics, ebonics. So boom, I'll take that. God damn it.
Well, we use nigga to empower what we was being called as nigger.
Exactly.
It's history behind it.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
took
we
that
dropped
shit
the
and I made it mine.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
owned it,
difference.
but we
Excuse me.
flipped
There's no
it.
difference in cracker. There's no
Right.
difference
It's
in
no
that.
difference.
You still a cracker.
Just period.
At the end
You know
of
what I
the
mean?
day.
There's no difference in no offense to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's no difference
No
in
offense
that.
to crackers.
There's no difference in spick or wetback. It's only one word that we can say that.
Salty?
But like we took it and did stupid. You say Ritz or salted. Man, but listen. At the end of the day, we took that word and made it our own. But you need to get out here, man, and enlighten yourself on a whole lot more. Because a lot of people are still sitting around in the same predicament, in the same neighborhoods, not doing nothing, and realizing why they can't climb out of that bucket that so many other crabs are in.
Yeah, so when y'all see me in y'all neighborhood knocking on y'all doors, open your fucking door.
They gonna open for
Cause
you.
we finna talk. I need to know, are you voting? Are you registered?
What they gonna
to
say
vote?
when they open the door?
I can
Paul?
get you registered to vote. And no, this is not one of those panhandling type situations. I just want you to vote. I don't give a damn who you vote for. Just use your vote.
What you think they're gonna say when they open the door for you?
Hey, you got the right house?
I
What's
want
that?
you.
Man, stop playing with me. You want me?
This is talk back
No,
to
like
me, man. We be
I'm
loving
Sam. I want you.
But no, I mean that's one of our missions, though, man, is to go out into the neighborhoods, to help kids, to help others, to help elderly. There's a lot of people that don't even know where to go to vote.
You right
Yeah.
about that.
First of all, I'm gonna get you registered, and then we're gonna start a transport system. Do you know where to go vote? Do you know when to go vote? Do you know how to vote? You know worried about it? Okay, let me show you on this paper, and it's gonna be the same thing you see on the screen. And these are your options. You can click all Republican or all Democrat or all whatever, but I would prefer you go through and you actually know who you're voting for. Know your candidates, know what they stand for, and vote accordingly.
Do you have anybody personally that you think that should run for the next?
Nah, fuck them hoes. I'm just playing. I have a homeboy, Jeremy Darby, running for District D, Houston City Council elections.
Okay.
So y'all can always vote for Darby.
Come and look into him.
He's for Darby, and he's a write-in because he wouldn't vote last year. Don't ask me why you gotta ask, brother man. He didn't vote last year, so they made him, he can't be on the ballot. You have to write him in. So you have to write in Jeremy Darby, District D.
So what about Willie D, Scarface, all these other cats?
Man,
I'm just
you
asking,
know,
like,
it's
what
crazy.
you feel about that?
It's crazy that people don't realize that these people are actually your community activists.
Mm-hmm.
These people are actually making changes. Like, they're actually working in your favor. You think this is just a name you hear or just someone you recognize, but you don't know the work they're really putting in on your behalf.
I would put up Trade the Truth. I mean, it's not because of these are people that I like know or people that I see around or whatever it may be. I really, like you say, I look at people who actually do things in the community. I look at people who pull up in the community when nobody else will. I look at people who will fight for you when nobody else will.
I do Raspy Walls. Do y'all know who Raspy is?
I have not a clue.
No,
Don't break it down. Who's that? Did you say Raspy Walls or Raspy Walls?
Raspy. Raspy.
Okay. And it's Walls, like WLS?
Mm-hmm.
So who is that?
I'll invite you on another episode.
Okay, then.
Oh,
We
okay.
got
And that's Jelly with Ears to the Streets.
Slick ass.
Most definitely right back. Make sure y'all hashtag Ears to the Streets. Just type in Jelly. She pulls up very easily on the IG. We'll be right back with final takes only on TalkBack2Me Podcast.
Jelly.
All right, and we're back. TalkBack2Me Podcast, powered by TheCore94. Y'all heard what we had to say about surviving abuse. Now we got final takes. Jelly, what you got on your final take?
I would just say that acknowledge that what's going on with you is an issue. Acknowledge that people who genuinely love you are not going to continually do things that hurt you in any form of fashion. And to properly heal, you have to be accepting of what happened. Do not be in denial. Understand that it happened to you, but it is not you. Don't let it become you. And go get the help you need. Mm-hmm. Don't be ashamed to seek help. You know, even if you gotta talk to a friend, talk to somebody about it. Yeah, so.
Straight like that.
Tiggy, what you got with your final take?
Straight like that.
I mean, same thing like I was saying. Like she said, acknowledge, man, and know what you can take and what you can't take. I mean, I broke it down as far as ticket thoughts, ticket talk, abuse, a brutal, unneeded situation every day. You know what I mean? Like, rather that be physical, mental, spiritual, work, family, etc. Don't allow it. People will receive power from your mental plug. Like I said, people will receive power from your mental plug. Mm-hmm. Don't let their charge drain your battery or be a stoppage for your growth. You know what I mean? Get out before it's too late. You know what I mean? So it's my ticket talk, my ticket thoughts for the day. You hear me?
What you got, Paul?
My final take is real simple. Make sure you understand and know your worth, because chances are you'll be able to get out of a situation, even not the ones that you put yourself in. Make sure y'all check out Fade in Full Houston. He over there on Kirkendall on the north side for all your fresh cut needs. He'll get you right before any occasion. Controversial topics, inspirational views with the occasional tea. We are TalkBack2Me Podcast. You know I did look.
You got it.